805 will be replied by Honourable Minister of Tourism. PQB 812 will be replied by the Honourable Minister of Local Government. Now, Honourable Minister.
786 is a nice coincidence. It is my registered number of the rolls of engineers. Madam Speaker, I would like to refer the honourable member to my reply to her PQ B17153 of 18 March 2025, whereby I informed the House that an inquiry would be carried out on the cycle network project, which was implemented by the Traffic Management and Road Safety Unit of my ministry, owing to its high value and fading of the paint at several locations, which the honourable member had mentioned in the House. To recall, the honourable member had questioned me as to whether an inquiry would be conducted on this project that cost 61.94 million rupees inclusive of VAT. And in this respect, Madam Speaker, the internal control was requested, was requested to conduct an inquiry with the following terms of reference. A, to assess compliance with procedures. B, review the procurement process. And C, assess the role of stakeholders. Madam Speaker, the Internal Control Unit has submitted its report to my ministry on 30th of May 2025, and I must say the findings are appalling. The list is quite long. I will just mention the salient ones at this stage for this project, which I have to remind the House, as I stated before, is devoid of a regulatory framework. Okay, regarding the compliance and procedures part, which is the first part of the terms of reference, the capital project process manual and the conditions of contract have not been complied with. Number two, there are instances where major items which have not been completed, but they were paid for. This tantamount to forgery. Number three, the photos and fading road markings, as were tabled by the Honourable Octil, has been confirmed by the Internal Control Unit. As a matter of fact, there have been discrepancies in materials used. Now, coming back to the second part of the terms of reference, the review of procurement process, the findings are as follows. Number one, there were inconsistencies in the scope of works for the consultancy services of Mega Design Limited, which is the consultant that was appointed. I am informed that there are deviations as regards requirements of the CIDB, Construction Industry Development Board. There were inappropriate evaluation of technical bids for consultancy services, and I'm informed that the consultant was paid a total of 13.472 million rupees inclusive of VAT. There were inaccurate cost estimates by the TRMSU. Rates submitted by the contractor was on the high side. The contract was awarded to Transfinvest company, though the contract price was 25.13% higher than the cost estimate. It is to be noted that the required limit as per the Capital Project Process Manual of the Ministry of Finance is only 15%. Madam Speaker, as regards the assessment of the role of stakeholders, which is the third part of the terms of reference, the Internal Control Unit found major shortfalls in connection with lack of supervision by the project manager at the TRMSU and at the Ministry's level. Madam Speaker, against this backdrop, I would like to inform the Honourable Member and the House that the report is now being submitted to the Financial Crimes Commission for further investigation.
Thank you. Yes, Ms. Octil.
Je vous remercie, Madame la Présidente. Will the Honorable... Je suis abasourdi par la réponse du ministre. Will the Honorable Minister inform the House of a number of meetings chaired by the former Minister Ganu in connection with this project? Thank you.
I don't have this number, but Madam Speaker, I have to say that in my more than a decade of career in the civil service, I've never seen such level of deviation with approved processes and manuals. In as much as the report is being forwarded to the Financial Crime Commission, I will leave it to the Commission to elucidate whether the officers took it on themselves or were instructed by other people including the former minister.
Yes.
The last one, Madam Speaker. Will the Minister indicate whether the findings of the inquiry will be made public in the interest of transparency and good governance? Thank you.
Madam Speaker, I have the report with me. It's quite thick. This is the report that is being forwarded to the Financial Crime Commission for further inquiry. I believe at this stage it will be improper for me to table it.
Too early. Yes, Mr. Bijan, I think.
Yes,
Yes,
thank you,
Honourable
Madam
Second
Speaker.
Member for Grand Bay.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. B787.
Madam Speaker, I'm informed by the Road Development Authority that the road in front of Duga Churn Hari Government School in Goodlands, known as the Mapu Goodlands A5 Road, is frequently flooded during heavy rainfall period due to surface runoff from lateral roads and lack of adequate drainage network. These flood events cause significant disruption to school attendance, pose serious safety risks to students, pedestrians, and road users, and adversely affect vehicular movement along the Mapu Goodlands Road. To resolve the flooding problem at this locus, a comprehensive drainage scheme has been proposed by the Land Drainage Authority, comprising two main components, namely, Component 1, provision of concrete drains dimension 0.7 meter by 0.7 meter over a stretch of 400 meters along A5 Road in front of the school, and construction of a cross drain across A5 Road to evacuate water from lateral roads. Given that the first component relates to a main road, the works have been entrusted to the RDA. The works have been estimated at 18 million and will be carried out under the framework agreement of the RDA to be funded under the National Flood Management Programme. Once financial clearance is secured, a works order will be issued and the drain works will be implemented within 8 months. Component 2, in parallel, the National Development Unit has been requested to proceed with complementary flood mitigation interventions within the vicinity, including first, a provision of a 50-meter stretch of absorption drain along Verger Road to capture excess runoff from upstream regions, and B, construction of absorption drains and installation of cross drains along GSS Road, Reservoir Road, and Subani Road with grating. The works are currently being implemented by General Construction Limited for an amount of 14.6 million. Works started in October 2024 and expected to be completed by August 2025. Madam Speaker, a long-term solution to the issue of flooding along Royal Road, Goodlands, in the vicinity of Dugachern Early Government School will be obtained once both components have been implemented.
Yes, one question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Will the Honourable confirm if requests have been obtained previously by the former government representative in the Assembly regarding these repeated problems in the region of Goodlands?
As far as I am aware, I don't think a request was made, but anyway, we are undertaking the works by RDA and the MDU. There are two projects that will be undertaken.
Yes, the Honourable First Member for Savannah and Black River.
B788.
Madam Speaker, with regard to Part A of the question, I am informed that a total of 229 leases has been granted by my ministry over state land at Riambel as follows: 155 for residential purposes, 64 Carpmore sites, and 10 for industrial purposes. I am also informed that all the sites are connected to the CEB and CWA networks. As regards Part B, I am further informed that there are no squatters over state land at Riambel. However, there are 3 cases of squatting within the Suriname ex-CHA housing estate. which forms part of the bigger portion of state land at Riambel. My ministry is considering the possibility of regularizing these 3 cases. Insofar as access to water and electricity is concerned, I understand that applications should be made to the CWA and CEB respectively.
Yes? Okay.
Madam.
Yes?
Yes, thank you, Madam. In regards to the 64 more sites you just mentioned, Honorable Minister, I have been informed that there are lots of them which are unoccupied and these places are being used as drug trafficking areas. Will your minister consider to have some site visits over there as they are bushy, they are neglected, yeah. There are lots of trees, bushes. Will your minister consider having a site visit over there so we can check if those sites are being properly maintained or being used as I've just said?
I am very thankful to the honourable member, who as usual is very meticulous when it comes to those issues. I would gladly go through the bushes with you. I mean, to those campements, and we would look into it. I would gladly love the opportunity of doing so with the other members of the constituency as well, and my officers, and if at all any campement site is totally left abandoned, I see it as a changement de destination, and as such, I would explore the possibility of putting an end to those leases. Correct. Rightly so. Thank you.
Yes, okay. The Honourable Second Member for Grand Bay Poudre d'Or.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. B789.
Madam Speaker, I am informed on the 20th of March 2025, a tragic workplace accident occurred on the premises of Sagar Hotels and Resort Limited, more commonly known as Le Méridien Hotel, located at Pointe de Piment. The incident involved the explosion of a diving cylinder, which unfortunately caused the death of 1 person. With regard to part A of the question, I'm informed that on the same day, the National Occupational Safety and Health Department of my ministry started an investigation on the site to determine the cause of the accident. I'm informed that the matter is still under investigation and the ministry is awaiting the testimony of a supervisor of the deceased who was out of town, as well as the report of the Forensic Science Laboratory on the gas cylinder that exploded. Madam Speaker, the police has informed my ministry that on the date of the accident, the police conveyed the body to Dr. G2 Hospital mortuary, where an autopsy was carried out, and the principal medical officer certified the cause of death as shock due to multiple injuries. According to information gathered by the police, it came out that the deceased was replenishing 1 cylinder with compressed air by a compressor when the cylinder exploded. The cylinder was secured by the police and sent to FSL on the same day for deeper analysis and investigation. My ministry has been informed that the FSL completed its investigation on 28th of July 2025, yesterday, and the report has been submitted to the police. My ministry has requested for a copy of this report as it may provide critical insight into the cause of the explosion and also help the ministry determine any breach as regards to compliance with the Occupational Safety and Health Act. Madam Speaker, under Section 72 of the Occupational Safety and Health Act, no gas cylinder for corrosive gas shall be filled unless it has been examined and tested by a competent person at least once every 2 years, and no gas cylinders for other gases shall be filled unless it has been examined and tested by a competent person at least every 5 years. I'm informed by the police department that the cylinder that exploded was purchased on the 7th September 2022. And the director of the center, Mr. M.B., is qualified to and possesses a valid certificate to carry out verification. He stated that the hydrostatic test is carried out after 5 years as per guidelines of the manufacturer and the provision of OSH Act. Madam Speaker, although the law clearly provides that gas cylinders must be examined at least once every 5 years, it would appear that in practice, inspection and testing occurs only once every 5 years. As regard to part B of the question, I'm informed that the officers of NOSH undertakes regular visits to places of work, including hotels. On average, visits are carried out at some 20 hotels yearly. As at 23rd of July 2025, 130 hotels are registered under Occupation Safety and Health Act. In respect of part B1 and B2 of the question, I'm further informed that officers of the OSH has carried out visits at 12 hotels since March 2025, and no contravention has been established. I'm tabling the list of the 12 hotels that have been inspected.
Thank you, Minister. Yes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Will the Honourable Minister inform the House the number of officers posted in the enforcement section to cover the whole Mauritius, and if there has been any lack of OSH officers in that department, the fact that you have just announced 20 hotels are visited on a yearly basis, despite we have 135 hotels registered as a ministry.
Yes, Minister.
Yes, I have been informed, Madam Speaker, that there are currently only 19 officers posted at the enforcement division of the OSH at my ministry, and at least 25 staff are required, and we have made requests for unfunded position to be filled. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Briefly, Doctor.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Since we are talking about tragic accident with regard to diving, diving may also cause serious decompression sickness. Will the Honourable Minister consider formal implementation of hyperbaric oxygen treatment by hotels who offer large-scale diving? Thank you.
Very good.
I will certainly convey this message, and we'll have to discuss with the Minister of Tourism and the Minister of Health.
Of course. Thank you. Yes, the Honourable Second Member for Rivière des Anguilles-Souillat. Last question.
B790, please.
Madam Speaker, Metro Express Limited was incorporated on 26 October 2016 as a public limited company. It is wholly owned by the Government of Mauritius and responsible for the implementation of a multimodal transport system by pioneering a new sector in the local transport industry through the development, financing, construction, operation and management of the Metro Express light rail transit system in Mauritius under the Metro Express project. The Phase 1 and Phase 2 of the project of the Metro Express was financed by the Government of India, partly through a grant and partly through a line of credit. As part of a requirement within the funding for the line of credit agreement with Government of India, the appointment of a project manager consultant, PMC, in short, was made, and the project was being financed by the Government of India, an Indian company, namely RITES, was selected by the Government of India and appointed by Government of Mauritius. The Government of Mauritius, under its G2G agreement with the Government of Singapore, enlisted the Singapore Corporation Enterprise to provide delivery support and advisory services, in short DSAS, to ensure that the concept design of the project was being effectively implemented by the EPC contractor. Under the DSAS, the scope of work comprised of the design and construct delivery services focused on design and contract management, integration, issues resolution, refinements, provision of technical support and briefings, and support the MEL, Metro Express Limited, on other enabling aspects related to the development of the project and ensure that the concept design is effectively implemented. Madam Speaker, in view to operate the light rail transit system, the services of consultants were enlisted by MEL to capacity build and train the required staff for operation readiness as follows. A, Singapore Corporation Enterprise, Singapore Mass Transit, Rapid Transit, which is SMRT Corporation, from September 2018 to September 2020, amounting to 296.5 million rupees, but paid in Singapore dollars. Independent Safety Assessment, ISA, by Metro Transit Solution, MTS, for Phase 1, approximately 4.69 million rupees, and SMRT, Singapore Corporation Enterprise, and Strides for Phase 2, A, 2B, 2C, and 3, for approximately 89.55 million rupees. Madam Speaker, for the sake of time, I'm tabling the full list of contractors who have been enlisted by MEL since its setting up, with the names, dates, contract amount, and nature of service. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Can the Honourable Minister inform the House whether proper procedures have been followed in all these activities, and if not, whether an inquiry will be opened?
Time and again, we hear about the methodology used by Metro Express Limited, but I can certainly ask the officers, based on the list that I've submitted, to give me a report on the processes followed for the award of these contracts.
Yes. That's it for this morning. I will suspend the sitting for 1.5 hours.